Everybody, welcome back. We're going to do a quick video on this Loki event. Should you be mad? Should you be furious? Or you should be just fine. We'll go through that real quick. For anyone new to the channel, check the Discord link in the description below. Follow along for the content. We're pushing towards that 10,000 subscriber mark. Like I mentioned, we're going to do a giveaway. So if you want to get enrolled or pull a little raffle ticket for that giveaway, all you have to do is comment below. You can comment whatever you want. I mean, we're more likely to not throw it out if it's a nice comment. So yeah, just comment below. If you want to hammer down the like button to help the YouTube algorithm, we'll always love and appreciate that as well. So, all right, let's go check out this math.
Bring me WolverThor!
All right, first, before we go to the spreadsheet, so everyone understands the milestones I'm talking about. It's campaign mischief, right? So you go here, you got all this stuff, right? You got all this stuff. We'll go through this a little bit in detail, but you've got the T1 ion orbs, yay, go team. You got the basic T1 orbs, and then you got some gear. The key stuff here really is a lot of controller crystals. So you get that from milestone 5 through 9. Pretty solid. And then you get to these last 2 or last 3 and you get some the premium T1 orbs, which can give you some nice, you can get level 5 crystals from that actually, which is huge if you ever get that drop. It is a minimum. Do not want you to expect those. And you can also get this T1 ion orb. So before that though, so you get that premium, you get the T1 ion orb. If you're looking at orbs in here, it's like, oh, all right, well, I only get, you know, 2 basic T1 orbs, which is okay. You get something out of that. And you get half of a T1 ion orb. That's what both of those are. So for every 2 days, you get a full T1 ion orb. So you will get some ions, you know, from these first few milestones. The question is how far do you get here without spending money, cores, etc.? Money and cores are the same thing, right? So we look here and we see 1,175. All right, so the question becomes, how much energy do I actually get and use per day? So we'll pull up our cute little spreadsheet here. This is nothing too insane here. I'll zoom in a little bit once I get over there, but this is math I did a long time ago. It's still there. It's still relevant. It just shows, you know, how much you get per hour, blah, 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 blah. You essentially get 528 total free energy a day, right? You get the 144 per 12-hour shift, I'll call it. Or what did I say, 144? Whatever, 144 per. So you get the 288 generated per day. Now, the only way you actually get that 288 is if you're never at max. I think most people who probably play this game, at least at a semi-competitive level, are probably making sure that they never sit at max energy. If you're not doing that, I highly recommend it. Even if you're a casual player, you're probably playing casually to still build up as many tunes as you can, and avoiding sitting at max energy will help you get more characters built up, frankly, more gear, more gold, everything. And then you get the 3 refreshes a day, depending on your time. You know, for me, what is it? It's noon, 6, and then 9 o'clock at night. So I get 3 refreshes of 80 energy, so that's an additional 240, and you get 528. So now we talk about that 528. Let's bring back BlueStacks, right? And 528, it's like, oh, goodness gracious. What can I get for not spending anything? I can get to milestone 5 without spending anything. You're just short of milestone 6. So if you want to get anything more than milestone 5, you do need to use something in-game with your cores, right? Now, you should have enough cores in game to be able to 50 refresh most of these campaign events. I think, you know, unless you are just not trying at all in arena or doing dailies, you should have that many. So I would say you can at least get to, you know, a little bit further. So looking back at the math here, so what are we going to do with our 50 core refreshes, right? Because we are quite a way short. So we'll zoom in a little bit here. Let's go to 125, zoom over to the side. So we started playing around with some math. We were doing a stream, still streaming now. Hi, everybody. And we just kind of looked at, all right, how can we get some more cores? All right, so you can do 4 50 core refreshes, which gives you another 200. I also did the the math on how many dollars is a core. It's basically a penny a core, or I think depending what offer you pick, but it's about that. I have intentionally 3 100 core offers because of what that kind of gets you. So it's kind of like, okay, so if I'm actually looking at all this, so I get another, when you do these 50 core refreshes, and this is just how many cores you're spending up here, and that's the money. I'll get to that in a second. But if you're doing 450 core refreshes, you get 120 normally with regular energy. But remember, if you come into here, and if you spend, like here, if I do, these, I get 120 campaign energy. If I do this, I get 120 campaign energy. And I had to be reminded that when you do these, you only get 100. So remember not to put in 120 in your equations there. It is only 100. I almost made that mistake when we were doing this math. So it's not 480 per 450 per your 50 core refreshes. It's 400. All right, so with that 400 plus the 528, you get to 928. So jumping back in game for a second here, 928, how far does that get us, right? We're looking at 928. We want to be at 928. 928 gets us to milestone 9. So that means if you just want these controller crystals, you need to do the 450 core refreshes. Okay. Now I'm like, all right, I remember thinking about these for a minute. I'm like, is this what Scopely promised us? And I went looking, and yes, it is. Now they talk about players who collect all their free energy and refill their energy 4 times a day will be able to earn the 60. You multiply those 20 per day. If you look at it, now it's for 15 days. So that's how you get the math to 60, right? 4 times 15. Just double checking myself here. It's late, right? Yeah, that's your 60. So Scopely is telling the truth there. They followed through on that. Let's hide that again, the blue stack. So when you come through here, it's like, all right, because I remember at first being like, what? Like, no, where's the stuff? I thought we were going to get this. I mean, I literally was going to the dev chat and going, this doesn't feel good. I thought you guys said we're going to get this stuff. So I went back and looked at this, and it's like, okay, you're going to have this campaign, because remember, we were all mad. Doom, Atom Wallet, all these different things coming that require these ISO crystals. Where are we going to get it? And the immediate reaction, or not immediate, but in Scopely immediate time frames, they got back to us saying, hold on a second, we're going to give you some ways to get some more of this stuff. And this was one of the things that they talked about, was this campaign. And at first, when I saw these milestones, I was upset. But then as I'm calculating, I'm looking at this, all right, what did they really say about this? All right, so they just talk about listing the rewards, which they're all there. Okay, those are there. So I'm like, okay. And then they actually follow through 100% with this statement. And then the other part is, as well as other milestone rewards, which it's kind of like, okay, what's the as well other milestone rewards? And that's kind of what we're looking at, right? So as we come back to this, like I mentioned, we know we can get to here. We know they followed through on exactly what they said. So the question now is, all right, these last 3. And really, when you're looking at these last 3, you get the premium T1, all right, and you get 1 more full T1 ion orb. So because you get the 15 here and the 5 here. And they definitely tease you with that 5, because you're like, if you're going to do this, you want to get this, right? So how many 100 core refreshes do you need to get to finish this? And that's what we started talking about here. All right, so let's go back to our math here. And it's like, all right, so we can get to 928. And if you do the 100 core refreshes, you get, 3 of them. You're short 247. And you need 1175. Well, 3 100 core refreshes. It gives you 100 energy. That's what you need. That gives you enough to get you the 1175. There might be some funky overlaps with the days and all that stuff where you maybe don't have to do as many core refreshes and all that kind of thing. You can kind of figure that math out a little bit if you want to play with that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if you want to get 1175 of those points, you've got to do the 3 100 core refreshes. And I was kind of like, what the heck? I don't feel good about this. I don't feel good about this. And I was kind of like, all right, well, how much is this? How much does that cost? Right. So like I mentioned before, the core cost here, I just used the $10 for the 750 cores. There might be one that's a little bit more expensive. There might be one a little bit more cheap. whatever. It gives you the idea. The cores are about a cent a piece. So for 200 cores here and 300 cores here, it's basically for 450 core refreshes, you're going to spend $2.70. And 300 core refreshes, you're talking about $4. So it's basically $6.50 a day. You're spending $6.50 a day over the course of, 15 days, which is, I didn't do that math on it. We'll do it live on stream. So it's $100. So are you wanting to spend $100 over the course next day? Now remember, you might be getting that $100 of currency for free in game by doing arena, your dailies, etc. So don't necessarily think you're spending $100. You might be earning that for free with your time in game. So then we start looking at, all right, well, what are the costs of things, right? So we're getting these two offers. It's the premium T1 orb offer, which you get the crystals with a chance to get into level 5, and then the T1 ion orb. And ultimately, these both equal out to 375 cores. So this is an offer. Shout out to Zach. Thank you for sending this over. This is one of the offers out there. 375 cores. That's where you get the math to get to that 375, right? For that, what was it? It was the premium ISO. All right, so you get this premium ISO with 375 cores. The T1 ion orb, if you actually go into the game, you will see that this is actually an orb that costs 375 orbs. It's just, that's what it costs. T1 ion orb 375. All right, so it is what it is. There's nothing secretive about that. So jumping back to this, so it's like, all right, so we've got these two things that cost 375 cores. So what I did is I did 375 times that price again, it's $5. So for each one of these, it's normally $5 to get each. $5 times 2, it's $10. The difference between $10 and $6.50, $3.50. So you're technically, by Scopely's economy, saving $3.50 if you choose to use these cores. But that's not the reason that I'm necessarily going to be not mad about this. Spoiler, I'm actually not raging about this. I don't think it's that big of a deal. So if you were coming here to rage, I apologize. I'm not ragey. Initially, when I looked at it, I was kind of like, eh. But as I looked at it more, I was like, no, this doesn't bother me that much, actually. So the way I actually think this game should work, and I'm okay with, is we, as a free-to-play, like I said, you get about here. If you want to be a little bit more than free-to-play, you get about here. All right. And even as a free-to-play, you might be able to get to here if you focused arena, or you're getting those cores from whatever game mode you want. And I've always thought in games like this, or any game that has a pay dynamic, if somebody pays more, they should get more. So the question is always balancing that pay versus the free-to-play, dolphin-y, semi-free-to-play, whatever you want to call it, guppy. So if you want to pay a little bit more, you'll get a little bit more. And I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with that. I am okay if you want to spend a little bit more money or cores or whatever to get to this. And you can, right? You just can't. So it's fine. I'm like, great. All right. So no rage. No rage. We're good here. We're good here. And the only other question is Loki costume. The Loki costume costs 2,500 credits. 1,700 credit costume credits with 50 core refreshes. 15 days, you get what you need. So again, if you care about costumes, and I don't, and I keep saying this, is I think at some point they're going to for sure like make that a thing. But if you do the 50 core refreshes, which gets you through here, that'll get you your Loki costume. You go to the store, you get your Loki costume, you can see it's 25K, right? So you should be okay there. So yeah, like I said, not ragey, not mad, good to go. If you're ragey and mad, let me know below in the comments. Just tell me I'm off base. It's kind of is what it is. I want to do one more item on here. A fellow envoy buddy, Tana, came, and thank you for the raid again, my friend. We started talking about Emma on War Offense versus Heroes for Hire. I did want to say that, you know what? Oddly enough, I did try this, but I did try it a second time. Now, this is about a 70K punch down. And it was fine, but I tried this on like a 50K punch down or something, and it just got slaughtered. So jury's out. I don't know if I'd still do it. Marauders are falling off of war a little bit because they're just so easily countered. So I was trying to see if you know, she could cleanse a bunch of positive effects. She got a bunch out, but not a lot because the resistance is so high. So it might be something you can use here, and you can still save your Kestrel somewhere else. So anyway, late throw in here. Wanted to mention it. Again, appreciate you guys all stopping by. Like I mentioned, Discord link in the description below. Follow along for that content giveaway. 10,000 subscribers coming. All you need to do is comment below. Hammer down on the like button. Click the notification bell. I already mentioned subscribing. Until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.